In 1095, as Europe reeled from famine and fear, Pope Urban II stood before a crowd in Clermont and called for a holy war. He spoke of Jerusalem, of infidels, of salvation. But behind his words was a whisper, a voice not of God, but of stars. Enlil, cloaked in mortal form, had walked among the bishops and kings. He whispered of a treasure buried beneath the Holy Land, a divine inheritance stolen by heretics. He promised glory, gold, and eternal favor. Knights, peasants, and kings answered the call. The First Crusade was born, not just to reclaim Jerusalem, but to hunt for the gold of the gods. Among them was Sir Alaric of Rouen, a Templar knight haunted by visions of a golden city beneath the sands. He carried a sword etched with symbols no monk could read, symbols given to him in a dream by a being of light. In the east, the call of war echoed. The Seljuk Turks, the Fatimids, and the Abbasids prepared for battle. But they too had heard whispers, from the same stars. Enlil, in his desperation, had made a second pact. If the Christians failed, the Muslims might succeed. He appeared to alchemists in Baghdad, to Sufi mystics in Damascus, to warriors in Cairo, offering the same promise: find the gold, and your people shall inherit the earth. Among those who listened was Imam Khalid ibn Rashid, a scholar warrior who had uncovered ancient scrolls in the ruins of Nineveh. The scrolls spoke of the Anunnaki, of a vault beneath Jerusalem, and of a war that would decide the fate of mankind. Khalid gathered a secret order, the Guardians of the Flame, and vowed to protect the sacred sites not just from invaders, but from the wrath of the gods. In 1099, the Crusaders reached Jerusalem. The siege was brutal. Blood ran through the streets. But beneath the Temple Mount, Sir Alaric and a handful of Templars found a sealed chamber, its walls lined with obsidian, its door marked with cuneiform. They opened it using a relic stolen from Antioch, a shard of gold that pulsed with warmth. Inside, they found not treasure, but a machine, a sphere of light and sound that spoke in a voice older than time: you seek what was never yours. The gold is not for kings. It is the seed of stars. The chamber collapsed. Most of the Templars died. Alaric escaped, changed. He no longer sought gold, but truth. As the Crusades continued, both sides searched. The Second Crusade, the Third, the Children's Crusade, each was a mask for the deeper war, the hunt for the Anunnaki gold. In Damascus, Imam Khalid discovered a second vault beneath the Umayyad Mosque. It contained a map, etched in crystal, showing 12 vaults scattered across the earth. But the map was incomplete. One piece was missing. In Acre, Alaric, now a Grand Master of the Templars, found that missing piece hidden in a reliquary. When he placed it into the map, it revealed the final vault, beneath the dome of the rock. But the map also showed something else, a warning. When the last vault is opened, the gods shall judge. In 1244, Jerusalem fell again. The Khwarezmian Turks, driven by their own visions, sacked the city. The dome of the rock was desecrated. The final vault was disturbed, but not opened. Enlil, watching from above, realized the truth: mankind was not ready. They had turned the quest into war, the test into slaughter. The gold had become a curse. He returned to Earth one last time, appearing to both Alaric, now an old man, and Khalid, now a revered mystic. He revealed his true form: tall, radiant, terrible. You were both chosen. You both failed. The gold was never meant to be found. It was meant to awaken. Khalid wept. Alaric fell to his knees. Enlil vanished. In 1291, the last Crusader stronghold fell. The Crusades ended. The Holy Land was scarred, its people broken, its temples silent. The Anunnaki withdrew. They had tested humanity and found it wanting. The gold remained hidden, not in vaults, but in the hearts of those who sought peace, not power. Alaric died in a monastery, writing a book no one would read. Khalid disappeared into the desert, his final words lost to the wind. And the gold? It lies still, waiting, not to be claimed, but to be understood. The desert sun blazed high over the arid plains near Arsif, casting long shadows over the clashing armies of the Third Crusade. On one side, the armored knights of Richard the Lionheart charged with lances lowered, their banners bearing the crimson cross fluttering in the wind. On the other, the forces of Saladin, swift and disciplined, countered with archers and cavalry, their green and gold standards rippling like fire. Dust and blood filled the air. The cries of men and horses echoed across the battlefield. But beneath the chaos, something ancient stirred. A section of the earth had collapsed, revealing a partially buried Anunnaki vault, its surface etched with glowing cuneiform and alien star maps. The vault pulsed faintly with golden light, as if responding to the violence above. Neither side noticed it at first. But as the battle raged, a shockwave of energy burst from the vault, knocking soldiers from their feet. A moment of eerie silence followed. Some warriors dropped their weapons, staring in awe. Others, driven by fear or greed, rushed toward the light. Above them, the sky darkened unnaturally. A swirling vortex of clouds formed, and from it descended a beam of light, as if the heavens themselves were watching. In that moment, the war for Jerusalem became something far greater, a war not just for land or faith, but for the forgotten inheritance of the stars.